What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I just want to go ahead and say thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity. Shout out to y'all. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to go ahead and hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, be sure to go ahead, turn on post notifications, hit that like button, and do not forget to go ahead and leave a comment down below when complete. So today, as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, I'm going to go ahead and bring y'all the top 3 new meta most rare lockdown defender builds on NBA 2K22 current gen, and today I got a few great two-way builds coming at y'all. So with this first one, we're going to go ahead and make it under the shooting guard position, as you can see. Then with the pie chart, we're going to go with the defensive end as well as the shooting, but with more shooting. So green and red, but with more green. Now, for the physical profile, this is really all based on a personal preference. What I really like to do, though, is pick between the first and the fourth one. And for this one, I'm going to be going with the fourth because we're going to be able to get a much higher vertical on this physical profile. Now, once we go ahead and get into the breakdown of what these stats are going to be looking like, I promise you, just continue to follow along and you're going to get the same exact build name. Now, for the finishing stats, we're going to go with these stats. 83, 74, and 70 when it comes down to the close shot, driving layup, and driving dunk. Then with the shooting, we're going to max out every single category on this build. Getting 26 shooting badges for a defensive build is something that's really going to take over. Then for the playmaking, I can't leave y'all hanging. Go with the 76 pass accuracy and a 74 ball handle. Now, once we do go and adjust what this build is going to be looking like with the physicals, I promise you a lot of these numbers are going to change and you're going to be able to actually unlock certain animations. Now, as for the defensive end, we're going to end up with 18 badges. That is something that I'm really looking forward to on this build. Really balanced, and on top of all that, you're going to get a really good build name. Now, once we go ahead and take it a step further, for the body shape, I like to pick between builds as well as burly or even defined. These are the 3 best body shapes that I personally think. Then, when it comes down to the height on this build, this is very specific, but for this first build, we're going to go ahead and put it a little bit shorter than what we would normally be doing. So if you want to, you can also go ahead and test out other heights to get the same build name, but I'm going to be going with 6'2" on this one, very fast for the speed. Then once we go ahead and get into the weight, go with 170 or the lowest. Then for the wingspan, what you want to go ahead and do to get this build name, I promise you, you're really going to enjoy it. Go with a 74.0 wingspan. And right there, that means once we get to 99 overall, we're going to be able to unlock the park dunks. For the animations, I would really consider shot creating takeover to break ankles. And as y'all can see, just to go with the build name even more, we have made the two-way shot creator build easily one of the most rare builds that you're going to be seeing, but even more so, especially when you consider it to be a two-way or even a lockdown defender build. Now, we got another build coming at y'all at number 2, and I'm telling you, as we go along, the build names are only going to continue to get even more rare, and what they're going to be able to do are also going to get even better. Now, for this second one, like I said, the animations that we're going to be getting with these builds are honestly going to be very well rounded. You're going to be able to do a little bit of everything. And for number 2 on this list, I'm going to be bringing y'all the two-way tempo pusher build. Now, if you're here watching, I really want y'all to know, I hope you are having a great finish to your week. Let's go ahead and finish out strong. Just know, put your faith in God, and I promise you everything is always going to work out for you the way that it should be. Now, you're still watching and you did not hit that like button, man, y'all might as well go ahead and do that. Turn on post notifications, hit that sub button to join the Rich Gang family, and go ahead and leave a comment so we can interact with each other. I would really appreciate that. So for this next build, we're going to be making it under the point guard position. Now, once we go ahead and get into the skill breakdown for the pie chart, this is very crucial. I'm pretty sure you can make this build out of multiple pie charts, but the one that I decided to go with today is going to be the one split right down the middle with the playmaking as well as the defensive end. Now, for the physical profile, this really comes down to what you want to do, but for me, I'm going to go with the very last one being the 4th, or you can go with the 1st. But if you look at this 4th one, you get crazy stats for the speed, also the vertical, and even the acceleration. Now, what you want to go ahead and do that's going to be a lot different from the past build, we're going to go ahead and again max out the top 3 categories for the finishing, but then go with a 46 post hook for 10 finishing badges. Now, for the shooting, I'm going to go ahead and max out that midi, 3-pointer, free throw, and then for badge purposes, go ahead and put the post fade to a 59 for another 10 badges. Now, once we go ahead and get into the playmaking, I'm going to go ahead and put the pass accuracy up to the 70s, and what I feel like is going to be perfect is honestly 71. Then for the ball handle, I'm going to max this out, and we're going to be able to maintain 13 playmaking badges when it comes down to this build. Now let's go ahead and move on to the defensive end. So already off rip, we're getting a good amount of badges once we go ahead and throw attributes into this area. So as you can see, we're going to be able to get 16 defensive badges, and again, once we do adjust the height, weight, and wingspan on this build, here is where the numbers are really going to change. So for the body shape on this one, it really comes down to what you want to do. I'm going to be going with defined again, but Burley is really going to take up a lot more space. Now, for the height on this build, not going to be as small as the previous build. Something that I really feel comfortable with doing on this specific build is going with 6'6". Then, once we go ahead and get into the weight, this is very crucial. I'm really liking around the 180 range. 188 seems to be perfect. Do not go anything higher, but you definitely can go lower if you want to. Then, for the wingspan, what you want to go ahead and do is really take a look at that driving dunk, and as you can see, if you go with an 87.0 wingspan at 99 overall, we're going to be able to unlock the contact dunks and still maintain pro dribble moves. Now we're going to be able to break ankles with the shot creating takeover, get even more contact dunks with the slashing takeover, then the playmaking, we all know how that's about, but then the lockdown takeover is easily going to be the best. And as y'all can see, coming up second on this list, the two-way tempo pusher, and I love the comparison of LaMelo Ball. Now, we got 2 builds out of the way. That means we got one final fire build coming at y'all today. Now, if you are still here watching, man, you might as well as hit that like button. I know you are enjoying it. I know you are having a great part of your day. So go ahead and do that. Help out the Rich Gang family, and why not join it since you are here? But now, let's go ahead and take a look at the third build on this list that I'm going to be bringing to y'all. Now, I know I say this often, but again, I really appreciate every one of you making it to the final build. Now, if you are still here watching, go ahead and do one minor favor. Comment down RGF. I really want to know who the loyals are. And as y'all can see by the looks of the screen, this third build I'm bringing to y'all is going to be called the 3&D Off Guard. Easily one of the most rare lockdown defender builds that you're going to be seeing all year. And honestly, out of every single build on this list, the name of this one as well as what it's going to be looking like has to be easily my favorite. Now, once we go ahead and get into the breakdown, y'all know what you need to do. Just be sure to go ahead and follow along stat by stat with each and individual thing that I'm going to be bringing to y'all. So, we're going to go ahead and make this build out of the shooting guard position. It was really a trend to go with the point guards and the shooting guards for these kind of builds. But now, I got a special banger coming at y'all tomorrow as well. So you are definitely going to want to go ahead and stay tuned for that. When it comes down to the pie chart on this build, of course, we got to go ahead and pick a defensive takeover to make this build official. But the one that we're going to be going with is going to be with the shooting. And we're going to have more shooting on this build actually. Then, once we go ahead and get into the physical profile, this comes down to what you want to do based off of your own preference. But what I like is really going with the fourth one, because that means you're going to be able to get an 81 vertical. And on top of all that, even if you wanted to go with the fastest speed, you can definitely pick the first one to go more with the defensive purposes. It all comes down to how you want to play with this build. Again, this build is for you, not me. I already made my own version, and now I'm leading y'all to what you want to make. So go ahead and just do whatever is based off of your preference and play style. But as you can see already off rip, we're going to be able to get 4 to 5 finishing badges. Now, the numbers are looking really good, pretty good for the finishing. Once we go ahead and get into the shooting, you have to go with an 81 mid-range. If you go anything higher, the build name is going to change, but you can go ahead and max out that 3-pointer. That's going to be the key thing about this build. Then, once you go ahead and look at that free throw, we're going to go with the 74 for 16 shooting badges. Now, when it comes down to the playmaking, we're going to end it off with 9 playmaking badges. But now, for the defensive end, we still got a good amount of attributes to use. And as you can see, the number for the badges is drastically going up. So, I'm going to end it with 18 defensive badges. That's going to be perfect for my liking. Really balanced on this kind of build, and you're really going to be able to do everything that you need when it comes down to it, especially if you max this kind of build out. Now, once we go ahead and get into the body shape for this one, I'm telling you, to take up the most space, go with Burly. Now, when it comes down to the height, you have a couple different options to pick from, but to get the best animations, go with 6'4", or you can even test it out with other heights as well. Now, for the weight, I like 179. If you go anything higher, the physicals will change. Then, for the wingspan, to put this build all together to make it exactly how you want it with getting pro dribble moves as well as park dunks, go with the 78.7 wingspan, and this is pretty much what the build is going to be looking like. And if you're still here, man, you already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and turn on post notifications to join the Rich Gang family. Hit that like button and be sure to drop a comment down below when done. And now, let's go ahead and pick the takeover. I'm going to go with the lockdown. And as y'all can see, we have made the 3 and D off guard. I thank y'all, I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. And man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.